Hello, everybody. Welcome. I'm still getting situated here. Welcome to another live show. We are doing, once again, a Storm Along live show. And this is Sandersprints. So you're welcome to read anything Sanderson for the Mistborn read along, for the Great Cosmere long, or you can read whatever you're interested in reading at the moment. You don't even have to read Sanderson. So I hope you will enjoy reading together. Welcome, Urza. Let us know if you guys are here in the chat, and we love to chat with you. And why don't we get started? So should we share what we're going to be reading today to start off with?
Absolutely.
Yes. Okay, go ahead, Rich.
Well, I'm actually going to stick to the theme. I'm actually reading Rhythm of War. So I finished Alloy of Law like a couple of days ago, and so now I'm on to the next. Actually, I finished Dawn Shard a couple of days ago, and now I'm on to Rhythm of War.
Nice. Oh, yeah. I was sad that in Arcanum Unbounded, Dawn Shard isn't there. I was like, it has like everything but Dawn Shard. So I'm going to have to get a copy of that because I actually haven't read it before. So this will be my first.
Oh.
It's fun.
Have you read Rhythm of War?
Yes, I have.
Okay. It'll be interesting reading them in the other order. Well, I'm really interested to hear your reactions to Dawn Shard.
I'm excited. I think it'll be good.
It's definitely kind of optional reading order because it doesn't really have a lot of immediate payoff.
Not even in Rhythm of War?
No, it's got some connections and some relationships to some things going on for sure, but it's more like a little bit of lore connection. I feel like long term, it's going to be really important because of some of the stuff it covers, but we're talking long term.
Okay. Now I'm super curious.
Yeah, it's actually an interesting story because it's it's not a discussion, but the it's interesting because it's kind of a lore exposition-y booklet. That's kind of like its function, I feel like. But the story is actually still really good. It's like a fun story all the same. For something it doesn't feel info dumpy, although I feel like that's its function.
Yeah, I thought it was really fun. I liked it. I think you have to like Lopen a lot to like it, though.
Yes.
If you don't like Lopen, you might not like it.
That's like the era 2 Mistborn not liking Wayne, which has been known to happen.
Or Edge Dancer and Lift.
Yeah, I was just gonna say people who don't like Edge Dancer, obviously, because you know.
Oh, Lift's awesome. What can you say?
I like Lift. I know she's controversial, but I like her. She's awesome.
Well, I think that's like Sanderson bad humor in a nutshell, like all of those characters.
I think Lift is pretty polarizing for sure.
She is.
And you get bigger doses of her than you do of Lopen. I mean, Lopen's pretty prominent in Dawn Shard, but not as much as Edge Dancer and Lift.
I am super excited for hearing Tiffany's first reactions to Alloy of Law.
Well, that's what I'm reading today. I'm like a third of the way through, and I'm shocked at how much I love it. I was prepared to like not like it that much. I was like, okay, it's gonna feel different, but like it feels like a mystery to me. And so it's like a really fun change of pace. They're like, what's going on with these robberies? What's happening with this? Oh, the police aren't doing their job, so we're going to solve it. I'm like, this feels like a mystery. Yeah. And a Western, obviously, but it's really fun. I really like it.
It's such a good time.
It really is. Every time I read it, I don't want to put it down. I just have other obligations. So that's all I'm reading today.
Yay. That's so exciting.
And I don't mind Wayne. I think Wayne's kind of funny. I like him so far. So
yay!
I'm not anti-Wayne
too.
His dynamic with Wax is really fun because they're totally opposites. So it's fun to have the two of them together. It doesn't feel like too much because they balance each other.
like the way he fights is so funny. Like it's just so unique. So I just think
Yes, I love the time bubble thing. I'm like, wait, what? How is he doing this?
Yeah. That's like the one completely new mechanic they added.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
Oh, the prestige.
Nice.
Oh.
Is that like based? Is that what the movie is based on?
That's what I'm wondering. I'm like, is this different or was this a book before it was a movie? Because I loved that movie. It's been years since I've seen it, but I loved it.
Oops, sorry. Victoria!
Hi!
Yay!
Hey.
I feel like I haven't seen you in forever, Victoria.
Yeah, that's because no one has seen me in forever. Hello.
So nice to see you.
I love the dark hair. Last time I saw you, you were more blonde.
Oh, really? Oh.
Is it wintry there or fallish?
Winter. Winter in LA.
It might just be the lighting because I haven't done anything different. It might just be just the way the light is hitting.
Mhm.
It's so dark here today, so I thought maybe that's why. There's not as much light coming through in California right now.
The whole
Oh,
state.
really?
Maybe not for you, but definitely up here.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, no, it's like it's sunny and 85 degrees, which is it's not 100, so we're happy about that.
Yay!
That basically is fall, isn't it? In LA,
Yeah.
85.
Yep, it's 85. It's fall.
Ooh, Pet Cemetery.
Ooh.
Nice. Love it. So Urza's
It is.
reading The Prestige, and it is what the movie's based on. So that's really cool.
Interesting. I'm gonna have to look up that book. 'Cause I didn't know it was a book.
Yeah, me neither.
I should have assumed. I feel like all good movies are based on books. There are very few.
Yes. They have a lot to work with that way.
They do.
I didn't realize how many K-dramas were based on webtoons. Like for the longest time, I did not realize it.
Really? I didn't know that.
Oh.
I haven't read very many webtoons though, so that's probably why.
Yeah.
You're all right.
What's going on?
Oh, Lucy's yelling at me.
Well, she heard someone was reading Pet Cemetery, and she's like, I just don't feel comfortable.
But then when I pick her up, she's like, I don't want to do this. It's like, make up your mind. Oh, Dexter had something to say too.
Yes.
All the pets are concerned about Pet Cemetery.
And we saw I think it's Dusty in the back. Was that Dusty in the background, or is that your new dog?
He's out there, and Bailey's right here. You just can't see her. She's right down here. And then the cat is there on the couch.
Yeah.
All the pets are here. They're ready to read.
They're
Gus is
ready.
behind me, so
I'm just covered in hair. Rose walked off. She's actually kind of eyeing me up from the hallway.
she left her mark and then she walked away.
So Rosa says, actually, the movie's a little better than the book so far.
Those do exist. They're
Okay.
rare for me, but they do exist.
Yes, that's true. Yeah,
Is
we
that
tried.
the Prestige?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen the Prestige. It's a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a really good movie. I didn't know it was a book.
Me either.
I know. We just need.
I
I've
think
never
a
heard
lot
of
of
it.
good. I think a lot of good movies are actually based on shorter stories, just because I feel like that works. Is you can take the clever concept of the story, and then you can kind of redo the plot and the way it works to kind of fit the medium better.
Oh,
Mhm.
and it's less offensive because it was a short story.
Yes.
Quick.
It's a circus here today, apparently. Penny, I'm really curious what you think of summer because I've heard mixed things about it. But it is summer, so it's a perfect time to read it.
Yeah, and we're in the last 2 chapters of summer, so
We really are.
Yes.
art imitating life, or the other way around?
Are you knitting today, Stephanie?
Yes. Yeah. So blue.
So pretty.
Ooh.
It kind of matches your shirt.
Oh, kind of does.
You're so coordinated today.
That'd be
Are you
anything.
gonna-
Coordinating my knitting to my outfits.
Yeah.
You can start a new trend.
Yes.
Are you gonna listen to an audiobook while you're knitting?
Yeah, I really need to make it through Oathbringer. I think we're aiming for the beginning of September for the live show, and I'm 400 pages in, so I really, really need to get on it.
Oh,
So,
That's a lot to read in a week.
I
that is a
know.
lot.
But if anyone can do it, it's Stephanie.
Yeah,
True.
78.
Thank
believe
goodness
in
for
you.
the audiobook. For some reason, I'm like struggling with it this time. It's not like I don't
Oh no.
enjoy it. I just don't feel like picking it up.
Mm-hmm.
So
I audiobooked that one, and it was fine. It's not my favorite, but I think I enjoyed it more on my third read.
yeah, I loved the ending. So I know like good things are coming. I think I'm just kind of in the not the slog, but
Mhm.
Pacing in
Getting
that
to the
book's
good
a
stuff.
little, it ebbs and wanes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It waxes and wanes.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So appropriate.
Yes.
Is that what
But I'm
you're reading
excited to
today,
get to
Victoria?
Alloy of Law.
What did you
I
say?
love that. Of course, Sanderson he was expecting Alloy of Law to essentially be a standalone. He wasn't expecting those cards to continue, so he was probably a little more loose and goofy with it all, figuring that this was like disposable, and that it just kept going. But I just love he did that.
Yes.
Did you all already say what you were reading?
We're working on it.
Oh, okay. I was like, did I miss that part? Because I saw Tiffany's reading Alloy of Law.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Stephanie's reading Oathbringer. What do you
Yes.
guys
What are you reading, Victoria?
I'm also reading Alloy of Law.
Hey, we got the same
Oh,
one
excellent.
too.
Yeah, I decided to bite the bullet and just buy the new ones. Although I have like the mass market, the older cover, but I also have Era 1 in these copies. So
Oh, you do.
I just decided, I was like, you know what? Let's just get them in the.
I love these covers.
Me
I think
too. I
they're
like
so
them
great.
too. They're pretty cool.
Nice. Is that what you've mostly been reading lately, Victoria?
I haven't read a single page since last weekend, so I'm I'm just 2 chapters in because that's what I read last weekend, and I'm trying to pick it up. I gotta pick up the pace if I'm gonna make the live show.
Oh,
But it's just I've had to take a lot of work home lately, so I'm gonna do the best I can. But yeah, I need to really dedicate myself to this at the moment.
Well, it's 2
Yeah,
weeks from today, so you still have 2 weeks left.
Okay, it's not next weekend?
No,
Okay, I
it's
was thinking
not.
I had a week. I have 2 weeks. Okay, I'm
Okay.
gonna make it. I think I'm gonna
Okay.
can do
I
Have you
haven't
even-
even started that one yet.
Have you even met Wayne yet? That's the question.
I
Oh, I don't remember what chapter he comes
yeah,
in.
no, I've met both of them. Yes. Wax and Wayne.
Okay.
I mean Matt
That's like around chapter 2 or so, I think.
yeah, in
Yeah,
chapter
chapter
2,
two.
that's the introduction to Wayne. Mhm.
I love
And
these
Mercy,
newspaper
I think.
things too.
Yes.
I do
think
Yeah,
they're
those
so
are cool. Oh yeah, that's actually where I am right now on that page that you just showed, Tiffany. That's where my bookmark is.
Is this your first time reading it, Victoria, or is this a reread?
Yes. Yeah, it's my first time.
Oh,
Me
fun.
too.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice.
Oh,
Here
this
are
will be
2
fun.
newbies.
I'm excited.
Oh, this is gonna be awesome. I'm so
Well, I'm
excited.
looking forward to. I'm also reading Rhythm of War to kind of pace myself so I don't get too far ahead on Mistborn, especially since it's a bit more manageable. But I'm really looking forward to the next book because spoiler warning. The next book's my favorite in the series. I think.
Oh, that's exciting. Fun.
Well, I am probably going to be working on Oathbringer for my first sprint. I already finished Alloy of Law, although I still need to read the 11th Metal, so maybe I'll read that. We'll see. It'll be one of those two, either the 11th Metal or Oathbringer. But yeah, I'm
11th
super
Metal's real quick.
Yeah.
right. Yeah, I think I should be able to get through it. That's why I was like, I could finish something during these sprints. I should read the 11th Metal.
That'll make you feel really accomplished. Like,
Yes.
I finished it.
Yeah, it's like
Yes.
a little popcorn read or something. I don't know how that compares to a dime store Western, but
Mm, It's been so long since I read. I think at some point I just picked like when Arcanum Unbounded was published, I think I actually pre-ordered it and I just read it straight through and I didn't know
Oh,
about
wow.
the order at all of what you're supposed to read anything in because I had already read, I was already caught up with the long series, so I just read it straight
Okay.
through.
So you were
So,
fine.
Yeah, well, then there's no harm.
yeah. So I'm looking forward to picking it up again because I haven't read it since that time, like years ago.
That is such a fun book. I mean, a lot of those books are standalones and so many interesting. It's like very diverse. It's like the secret projects, they're just like really like silent, Shadows for Silence and The Forest is Hell and, all that's really fun.
Ooh, I love that.
Yes.
Well, I don't know if I call them fun, but interesting.
They're fun
Yeah.
to read.
I thought they were fun. I was really enjoying.
Yeah.
I didn't really think he was going to be a short fiction kind of author, and some of them were like, "Well, this isn't the best," but there's always something really unique, like in his stories that he includes. That I'm like, I'm glad I read this. There's always something. So
Well, and some of his stories are actually kind of functional. Like the 11th Metal, well, we could talk about it next week, but that was actually a functional one because it was kind of written as a preface to a pen and paper game or something like that. And so, he had to write something, and so he did, but it was kind of meant like as an intro. I think the Hope of Elantris was like that also, where I think it was written for somebody or something like that, and another one of those like short kind of, you don't want to call it disposable, but it's a little disposable, but
Semi-disposable.
yeah.
well, how long should we do our first sprint for? Do you guys like longer sprints, or are you like, I need a shorter sprint today, or what do you guys feel? What are you feeling like?
We can do whatever. Long is fine with me.
All right, cool.
Yeah, my goal is to make progress today, so I'm up for whatever.
Okay. Well, why don't we do a long one then? And then so we'll go from maybe 20 to 50. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Wait,
Sounds good.
Rich, what are you reading? Did I miss that?
Oh, it was before. Yeah, it was Rhythm of War.
Oh, okay. Nice.
All right. Well, I'll see you on the other side, everybody.
Excellent.
Welcome back.
That flew by.
Yeah, it did.
It really did.
How did you do, Stephanie?
Good. I listened to 2%.
Nice.
So
That's a lot in Oathbringer.
Yeah, that is.
It is.
Your dress is so pretty, Victoria.
And you looked so cozy back there.
It's on mute.
How did you do, Victoria?
I read chapter 3, and I'm a little bit into chapter 4.
Nice.
Nice. Progress. How about you, Tiffany?
I am in chapter 8 of Aloe of Law, so I'm just a little bit ahead of Victoria.
Nice. And how about you, Rich?
Yeah, check what chapter I'm in. Somewhere like, I don't know, maybe halfway through chapter 9, Rhythm of War, and it's a long chapter. And I'll tell you, I'm impressed just how many little things I'd forgotten about that are in this book.
Mm-hmm. Packs a lot in there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really enjoying Oathbringer this time around, like a lot. I'm wondering if I mostly listened to it previously when I read it, but this time I'm immersion reading it, and I'm trying to keep my eyes on the page throughout the whole series, and I'm enjoying it so much. So
I think that makes a big difference.
I think it does. Like, he's
There are a
detailed enough
lot
to. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, there's a lot of details. I think you're about to say the same.
Yeah. It's like definitely worth reading them with your eyes on the page once through, at least, just to get all the detail.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you normally listen to books like I do, it's like totally worth it to do it. So I started the 11th Metal, but I was really having trouble focusing on it, so I switched to I'm buddy reading a webtoon with a friend, and so I finished 2 episodes, or maybe one. No, I finished 1 episode, and then I responded to her Voxer, and then I started working on a manga that I was supposed to buddy read with Tiffany, and I didn't quite finish it, so I'm trying to finish that. But I'll get back to the 11th Metal after warming my brain up.
Manga is a good warm-up, I feel like, because there's lots of pictures.
Yes, exactly. So, is everybody enjoying what they're reading?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it's well, I'll tell you, and well, I mean, there's some of this in all the books, but some of the characters are going through it, and it can be rough to read at times.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely noticed that in Oathbringer, and I'm really noticing it in Rhythm of War.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
feel
was
like
thinking
the scenes in Rhythm of War are like really intense mental health wise.
Yes.
Very intense.
that's how I felt reading Words of Radiance. I was like, wow, Kaladin really in the depths here.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
It just keeps upping the ante with that.
Yeah.
Which makes me wonder what's going to happen in book 5 to
Oh,
poor
I know.
Kaladin.
I don't know if I'm ready yet.
I'm nervous.
Well, never known Sanderson to kill off a character in the last installment of a series, right?
He's never done that.
Never.
Not even with main characters, it never happened. No one is safe, and that's why I'm nervous.
Yeah.
I'm super nervous because I've never loved a character like Cal as much as I love Kaladin. So I'm like, very nervous, but he's been through so much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I'm enjoying Alloy of Law, and I'm getting a lot more like the Sherlock Holmes vibes.
Yeah.
Last, like
Oh yeah.
chapter or two. Even with like it's almost like a copy of like with the what's his name, Tiom, like his butler, and he's talking
Yes.
butler, and the butler's like giving him advice, and it's like it's so much I don't know what the word is, but it's kind of like a little bit of a copy paste of like familiar characters, like things that the reader is going to be familiar with, but with a Brandon Sanderson spin.
Yes.
Mhm.
The butler
I
kind
think
of
it's-
reminds me of Alfred from Batman too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's got that vibe.
Except he's like really obsessed with tea.
Yeah.
I love that.
So did you meet Marcy yet and the contract and all that?
I love that chapter.
I think that's where you
Yes.
are, but I don't know if you got that far
Oh,
though.
great.
Yeah, I'm past the wedding and all of that stuff. So that gives you some context of where I am without spoiling anything for Victoria.
There's a wedding.
Yeah, oh, that's not going to spoil anything at all.
Okay.
Not any main characters are just attending a wedding.
Yeah. There's a female character in that series that I absolutely love, and I cannot remember when she comes into play because I've only read it once. But she's my favorite.
I really like Marasi. Do you see her name Marasi or
I think Marcy.
Marasi?
Oh, but I was thinking of
That's right.
Steris actually though.
Steris, that's
Marcy-
who I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
I like Steris too, but I really like Marasi so far. We've seen a little bit more of her. So
Yeah,
love
I think you
Steris.
meet them at the same time.
yes, you do.
Maybe,
Okay.
but you
Yeah.
get to know Steris better first.
Okay.
I just ended on a scene with Steris and Wax, and yeah, I think she's hilarious how she like tells him how things are gonna be.
I know.
Oh yeah.
I love her record keeping. It makes me happy.
The contract is so funny.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where she's even like, oh, well, I mean, I've even got a thing for mistresses on page 17. And he's
Yeah.
like,
It's kind of like
like they're a part of life, so I might as well plan for them.
Yeah,
in
she's
the
pretty
Big Bang Theory.
Sarah, welcome. And Oyas and Diaz here, and they're making fun of Kaladin in the comments.
He is a sad boy.
Yeah.
He is. I mean, I would be too if I'd lived his life. He's got good reason to be a sad boy.
Yeah.
Oh, Evie's here too.
Hey, Evie.
I haven't
Hello,
seen Evie in
Evie.
forever.
Hi. Are you reading with us, Evie? Oh, Dia said she's reading some Red and Black, and then chapters for Tin Flute. Do you guys know what that is? What is Tin Flute?
The Tin Flute's by Gabrielle Roy. It's like a Canadian classic.
Ah,
I
never
own
heard
it, but I have not read it.
Yeah, it sounds really good.
A lot of people love it. So, and I'm reading the Red and the Black with Dia. So I already read my chapters this morning, and a lot happens in today's chapters. It's drama city.
There are okay authors besides Brandon Sanderson, so that's allowed.
There are other authors that exist. He just wrote a lot, you know. But
I mean, he didn't write Anthem, so that's he's not the only good author out there.
that's for next year.
Yes. Yep, we are planning an Anthem read along.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna have to try again because I did start Anathem and then put it down. So when you guys try it again, I want to try it again with you.
I feel like it's one we could split into 2 months just because it's so long.
Yeah.
And that would make it much more doable for you to try to participate, Victoria, as opposed
Yes,
to
it would.
1,000 pages in 1 month.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What are you reading, Evie?
Yeah, what are
Yeah,
you reading?
curious. And Sarah, if you're reading with us too, let us know what you're reading.
Yes, let us know. Sarah's the one I was just boxing about the
Oh.
webtoon.
I was wondering if you were reading a webtoon with. I thought maybe it was Yoon.
I would love to buddy read with Yoon, but I'm like so afraid of overloading her schedule because she's like already.
Fair.
She had like no break from school this year. It was
I
just
know.
school all year.
Oh,
But she's getting into classics, so that's really exciting.
It is. She was asking us for recommendations last time. That was fun.
She just picked up it's one of those famous sensation novels that
Lady Ugly's Secret.
Yeah, Lady Ugly's Secret. She just picked that one up, and I was
Did
like,
she?
"You're gonna
Oh, fun! I haven't read that
was
yet.
fun.
yeah." Ooh. The
Oh, I
Cinnamon.
want to read that just for the cover alone. It's so pretty.
Oh, I'm gonna look that up.
I haven't heard of that, but I love the title.
It's been going around BookTube a lot. I think. What was it on? It's been on a couple lists.
Oh, that
Okay.
does have a pretty cover.
Ooh. Anything with like saint
Ooh.
in it, I'm like very curious.
I've never heard of that. It's a pretty cover though.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, it's about cults too. I'm in. Divine revolutionaries and transcendent cults.
Is cults one of your buzzwords too?
Oh yeah, it really is. Cults and communist dictators are like two things that I love, and I'm like, why?
Yes.
And then I'm like, it's the mind control. It's being able to control masses of people. I think that's what I'm like so intrigued by how some people are able to do that. I don't want to do that. I'm not trying to learn it, in case you're worried.
So if you were a Mistborn character, you would be a soother or a rioter.
We met Breeze.
Oh, I can see why. Davidbod has the doors.
Yeah.
The fire
I
on the
love
first
that
cover.
Ooh, SMG daughter of Dr. Morrow. I don't know what that is. Do you guys
I
know
don't
what that
either.
is?
Marina Garcia.
Ah.
I haven't read that either.
Yeah, she's also a really good author.
Some might say pretentious.
Pretentious is one of my buzzwords. So if you say it's pretentious, I'm gonna pick it up.
Victoria and I should read it together for the cults and the pretentiousness.
Yes.
Now I have a hankering to watch Firefly for some reason.
Oh, I love Firefly.
You know, it's such a good show.
Firefly fans.
Yes. Oh.
Yes, you
Yes,
should read it with us.
Yes, I see, Dia. I will chat at any time, but I will not be offended if you wait.
I know, it's so funny. When I first joined Discord, all I saw was Rich talking about Anathema. And it's
Yeah.
like, I need to read this book, and I have yet to read it.
Next year, Stephanie.
We can do it all
Yeah.
together.
It'll combat
Hey,
Anne of
it
Green
was a
Gables.
bestseller. It just it was a long time ago.
Yes, it
It's
will. I forgot about that.
Yeah, Stephanie
It's
and I
actually
want to
kind
do an
of-
Anne of Green Gables readathon next year, so Anathema will be a good counterpoint.
Yeah. Well, you know,
would be
it's
so fun.
interesting. I think BookTube, you get like both extremes. It's like it's all new releases or classics. And you don't see a lot of stuff from like the 90s, say, or whatever. You know, it's
Mm.
Agreed.
I know. I really want to do I've thought about doing read-alongs of Tamora Pierce's Tortallon universe, but it's just so many books that I'm like, do I want to devote an entire year to a read-along of Tamora Pierce? I don't know.
How long are the books, though?
They're not that long.
So that wouldn't be that bad to do a book a month or something. You know.
And are those are YA, right?
Yeah, actually, they're in my library. They're in the middle grade section, but I would say,
so that would be a nice, fun one to do.
would you guys want to? Do you guys think you'd be interested?
Maybe
I
I haven't read any
do.
Tamora Pierce before. Not one thing. So
I never heard of it. What's it about? If you want to plug it now, feel free, or I can go Google it. But
Oh, yeah. Well, She was one of the first authors writing about like a really strong female lead in like a fantasy setting. So she was writing about girls becoming knights and heroes and stuff like that. So her first series about that was called the Lioness. Is it the Lioness Quartet? I think it's called. And there's three sets of quartets that I really love from her, and that the Song of the Lioness. That's what it's called. And she disguises herself as a boy to try to become a knight through this. So it's like her brother. Yeah.
Mulan.
Yeah, it's very Mulan. Yeah. So.
Only read, did she have a Trickster series or something like
did.
that? I've read that one and I liked it.
Mm. Yeah.
They were fun reads.
Yes. She has like, she's been working on a series, but it's only been like one book in like 8 years or something that came out. So I don't think she's writing a lot anymore, but I was waiting for that series for like my whole rest of my childhood, young adulthood, and then she started releasing it finally. So it's been fun. The Numer Chronicles.
Was she writing in the 80s and 90s more? Was that when those books were?
Yeah, I think it's.
I feel like that's probably right.
Yeah, because I remember them coming out as I was growing up. I feel like.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So Alana the First Adventure was published in 1983. That's the first book of the first quartet.
I feel like it's been making the rounds because you're not the only person that I've seen talk about that author lately. She's having like a mini resurgence.
Yay, that makes me. One of her series is getting a series of graphic novels coming out right now. So a new generation of readers are discovering her.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yes, it is fantasy. It's so good. Yeah, the first series, the Alana series, has a lot of magic in it because she has some magic. Alana does. And then one of the later series is about somebody who doesn't have any magic, but there's like a lot of magical creatures like griffins and a lot of like imaginary ones that you'll never find elsewhere in fantasy. So yeah, it's really interesting.
So which series is it that you were talking about wanting to read?
I would probably do a read along of all of the first 3 Tortallin universe series. So it would be the Song of the Lioness, and then the Immortals Quartet, and then the Protector of the Small Quartet.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Protector of the Small, I think I've only read that when I was a youth. I think that's what I read.
That makes you sound very much not like a youth.
I am no longer a
youth from New Girl. He's like youth.
Yeah, I've read Protector of the Small, and I remember liking them.
Yay.
As a youth.
As a youth.
I'm in for that one. The first one at Goodreads says is only 274 pages.
They are not very long.
That's totally doable.
Mm-hmm.
Well, cool. Maybe I will do it then. Maybe after we finish Anathem, then I can do that.
Just add it to the TBR.
Yeah, I've already got 2025 all planned out.
Yeah. The first quartet, and then see how interest goes and extend it if you want to.
That's a good idea.
You don't have to commit to a whole year.
That's a really good. I think,
or do 1 quartet a year.
Yeah.
Next 5 years already booked out.
Yeah.
I liked Penny's comment. It reminded me of something I read in Dawnshard.
Which one? Oh, this one. Nice. I missed this comment.
Because it triggers people. I hate it.
It does.
I love that.
Yeah, I have to admit that I definitely get that That's sentiment.
Well, should we get back to reading sprinting?
Yeah.
Are we all going to be reading the same stuff again?
I am.
I am.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, should we do another longer sprint or do we want to do a shorter one?
I'm
I'm
fine
good
with longer.
Longer. That's fine with me.
Yeah, it works.
Longer? Okay. All right. So why don't we go from 10 to 40?
Excellent.
Excellent. Let's do it. See you guys in a bit. Welcome back.
Howdy.
Howdy.
I
How
don't
did
want to
you
put
do?
down. I'm almost at the end of the chapter.
We can keep going for another minute.
No, it's a really powerful passage, which well, you could probably guess. There's a couple of them early in the book.
I do not remember. I barely remember it, honestly.
Same.
Oh, you would remember this one.
Okay. So I take it you're enjoying it.
Yes, it's it's like watching train wrecks, but at the same time, you can kind of step back and see some of the growth. And I didn't appreciate as much of the time, but some of the conflicts that Sanderson is setting up at the start of the book that you kind of knowing where they'll go.
Well, that's exciting.
Mhm.
I'm glad you're enjoying it. How are you doing, Tiffany?
I'm good. I hit the halfway point. So I'm a little over halfway now,
Oh
actually.
my
So.
gosh.
It's a
You're
quick book.
right.
It is. It is. So I finished chapter 9. So that's where I am.
Awesome.
Sweet. Are you still enjoying it?
Oh yes, I am. My
Yay.
older sister is reading it too, and she texted me a few days ago and was like, "Have you hit chapter 9 yet?" And I'm like, "No." And then then she finished it like the next day. She's like, "Well, I'm waiting on you." And so now I should text her and be like, "Hey, I finished chapter 9 and now I know why you wanted to talk to me so desperately. I'm sorry."
Now I'm gonna have to go back and look at chapter 9.
I don't want to say anything because Victoria is not there yet, so
Right, no,
I don't want to give any hints.
give
I did post it on Discord though.
Oh, good.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
We'll go look in
Oh
Discord.
yeah.
How about you, Victoria?
I just finished chapter 4, which ends on a cliffhanger, so I'm like, ah.
Everybody's like, let's just keep reading.
Right.
Chapter 4.
Oh yeah, so that was at the wedding.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay.
Oh yes. I'm pulling up I've got my quotes up and ready to go here. Actually, I gotta update them because I didn't update these.
This is gonna be a great live show.
Yeah, there are things I could say right now, but I'm like, that aren't spoilery that I'm enjoying about it, but I'm like, maybe I want to save this for the discussion.
I know we're talking
talk
so
about.
much about it.
Yeah.
So everybody, this is our 2-hour long plug for next week's live or is it, or
2 weeks.
I forget when it is, but it's our live show coming up.
Yeah, that'll be September. It's the first Saturday in September. September 7th.
Okay. It is like 2 weeks. There's another week to go.
September 7th?
Yep.
Okay.
That time.
It's good. I have some time to catch up on Rhythm of War.
Yes, you're welcome.
Yes.
We purposely made it the first Saturday of like the next month, so that way if you didn't quite finish it in a month, it gives you a little extra wiggle room. Christy and I planned it that way on purpose.
Yeah, well, when we finished Era 1, my spreadsheet breathed a sigh of relief because the pace goes, it's just way more relaxed.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, the fact that this is only like 300 pages, I'm like, this is like less than half of Hero of Ages or Well of Ascension.
Yeah, they get longer. Each one gets a little longer than the one before.
But still, even the Lost Metal is very reasonable.
Yeah, isn't that one more like close to 500 pages?
It's 507, and then Mistborn's Secret History is another 166.
Okay.
So together they're substantial.
That's still less than Well of Ascension or Hero of Ages. So
Yes.
Tiffany, what you posted in the Discord was what I was thinking when we were talking earlier about.
I know.
I was like, yeah.
Well, is that why
That's
Stephanie
amazing.
laughed?
I
is.
just looked. I know. I was chuckling inside when, yeah.
You'll see in just a little bit, Victoria.
Yep.
You'll probably be the same exact reaction I did.
How did you do, Stephanie?
Good. I got to a part with Lift, and she was messing with Dalinar, just talking about his butt. She said he had an old man mushy butt and a stick up his, and it's like, this is my favorite Lift scene ever.
Yep.
That scene reminds me of some comments Victoria made about Dalinar and Navani in the earlier books.
Yes. So that was a nice laugh out loud moment because it's all been so serious.
I love scenes that Dalinar and Lift have together because they couldn't be any more different.
Yeah.
It's so
yeah.
funny.
I can just see his facial expression too, like, excuse me.
Yeah.
You know who I am.
Yeah, I like that Sanderson pairs those opposite characters together sometimes because that's where he can build a humorous moment with them because they're so different.
Yeah. It's a nice break from all the serious stuff too.
I just read a scene with Dalinar and Shallan, and it was so funny. Dalinar is like asking for advice, and Shallan is just gonna give him some sass. That's so funny. And he's like not having it, It was great.
Yes. Or even just now, Yasna was like, Shallan, your tongue needs to be a hammer, not a bludgeon. And it's like, so true.
Oh, Shallan.
I remember.
Yeah,
I was
that
reading
dynamic. That dynamic when they're like, that introduction there is just it's amazing.
Yes.
I hope
Yeah,
nobody's still
definitely.
reading Words of Radiance.
Oh. I hope so too.
It's definitely nice on reread because the first time I think you're just so into the plot that that's your main focus, and then once you know where it's going, you can focus on all these little funny moments. So
It's so different.
Nice. Yeah.
Stephanie, I know you're not going to be ready to go through it again, but Wheel of Time is actually similar in that regard. That it's a completely different experience.
Stephanie's face. She's like, trying to be so sweet because she is, but I'm like, no, thank you.
So honestly, I feel like Stormlight is everything Wheel of Time wanted to be, and I think I think he benefited a lot from that experience.
Yeah, we were just talking about that with the group that I read Wheel of Time with, and one of us was like, I don't ever want to read it again. And then me and one other person was like, maybe in like 10 years.
10 years. We've already planned out our 2034.
Right. Oh my gosh.
I forgot there was a
conversation.
I forgot there was a conversation happening in the chat. And so Dia recommended a book to Penny, and Penny was like, yes, that sounds like perfect for me. So that's really, I love seeing that.
Nice.
So now I'm wondering, Cryptonomicon. That's not really Hisfic, but it has World War II Hisfic vibes to it. That's another popular Stephenson novel. So when you finish with Anathem, you can go on to that one.
Rich is directing all of our next group reads.
So,
We
like,
pulled him into Sanderson, and he's like, "All right, but I got 2025, guys.
Yeah.
Don't worry."
so this
Have
year
you
was
read-
the year of Sanderson. Next year will be the year of Stephenson.
of Stephenson. Rich, have you read like a lot of Neil Stephenson? Have you read like
I've
most
read
of
a
it?
few of his books.
Okay.
I'm actually kind of hit and miss on his stuff. I've read a few things, and I won't say I DNF them because I really want to go back and read them, but it's harder for me to get into him. Some of his stuff it either vibes or it doesn't. They're very different. I'll tell you, one of his books, actually one of his early books, has a character just starts out in the front of the book for a character that's even more insane than Wax and Wayne. So, in terms of names.
Nice.
Another good book, much more conceptual, and again, I'm not sure all the stuff's good, but Charles Stross is another book. That's now we're definitely well into the harder sci-fi side. But Charles Stross has a lot of good stuff too.
How do you spell the last name?
Stross.
Okay.
And most of his books are more standalone, and depending on what you'd be more interested in, he's got one that's kind of much more psychological. He's got some that are much more action adventure-y, and there's got a lot of different things.
I hadn't heard of him.
It's nice to have some variety in an author's work, though.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like
Well, those
some
are
of
all these are all stuff that's like the 2000s type authors, like that space that we were just talking about with BookTube. It's not brand new, and it's not Jane Austen either.
Yeah.
And it's not Jane Austen.
Or Dostoevsky,
Oh, he did the Laundry Files. Okay. Yeah. I've
Did
heard
you
of
say
him.
the Laundry Files?
She did.
Yes.
Because I'm looking at that right now.
Oh, is that Strauss? I didn't read that one. Is that more of a mystery sort of series? I
Sounds
forget.
like Dresden-ish.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was picturing. One of my my library, one of the patrons there recommended it to me a long time ago. So I haven't gotten to it.
Policy exploits of a former tech support worker now turned field agent. A top secret British intelligence agency dedicated to protecting the cosmos and the human race from a nefarious supernatural phenomenon beyond space-time. Okay.
That one sounds fun.
It says it's
That's like,
Lovecraftian, so that's kind of intriguing.
Yes, I saw that in another. That actually sounds. I'm going to click want to read.
Speaking of Lovecraftian, this is not lighthearted. But
Well, neither is Lovecraft, really.
well, that's true. But the Outside series by Ada Hoffman, nobody really talks about it, and it's such a cool sci-fi. Like, I never binge series, and I binged that trilogy in like a month and a half.
I've never heard of that.
But you have to be present mentally to read it. It's kind of not like hard to read or dense, but like the detail.
What's the first book called?
The Outside.
The Outside. Okay.
But it's really cool if you like sci-fi.
Yeah, the stuff I read from Strauss was more singularity stuff, like Glass House, Singularity Sky. There's also that bigger series that I think he's kind of more known for. I forget what it's called, but he's got good stuff. It's kind of out there. It's sort of like a lot of his stuff kind of comes with the idea that it's sooner or later at some point the pace of human progress becomes so fast that it's like impossible for culture to keep up. That's like an idea he explores. It just kind of like rips society apart because everything is changing faster than anybody can adapt. And you can kind of see like the effect social media has on our society and everything. It's sort of like an emerging aspect. But this envisions it's like to the next level, like when people can start like redesigning themselves and just all kinds of stuff.
That's interesting.
wow.
I
That
love
sounds
the
really
themes
interesting.
of sci-fi. That's my favorite thing about sci-fi is if there's good theme exploration, then I'm like, yes, I'm in.
The scary,
and the
the
one
scary
is-
part is. Oh, go ahead.
I would say the one's like that concept, but it's also like a psychological thriller kind of mixed in, which is kind of interesting.
Mm.
Sci-fi with a good pace. It's like a
Yeah.
perfect mix.
It really is.
You said it was Ada Hoffman, Stephanie?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you. I found it. Well, I'm enjoying the 11th medal. I forgot how crazy one of the characters is. Like, he's absolutely mad.
Yeah, I'm
haven't read
trying.
that yet.
Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah. I'd forgotten about that, and I read it just like a few weeks ago. It's a
Put
short
it out of your
one.
mind. You're like, nope.
That definitely has like a dime store feel to it, because that was, like I said, that was a functional story.
I'm enjoying seeing Kelsier learning how to use his medals because he's so awkward when he's learning. So it's like you said, it's like a tutorial, but also interesting character-wise.
Yeah.
I can
But
follow
it's such
it
a
more
short
easily.
story. I feel like the really strong characterization kind of works for the short story because it doesn't have to go anywhere. It's like a caricature of a character.
Yes. I feel like that's what Steris started out as. And then he was like, I'm going to add depth since there's going to be 4 more books in this series.
Mm.
Well, that's the thing. That was going to be a standalone because I think that was going to be like a hold me over between 2 series. And it turned into, that's why like that trilogy is 4 books instead of 3.
Oh, is it 4? Yeah, sorry. I meant, 3 more? Should I say 4 more?
Yeah. I'm excited to see where Era 3 goes.
Yeah.
Me too.
Whenever we get it.
Yes.
Yeah. But I'm glad of a comment he made like about Stormlight Era 2 and even the novella, like between Rhythm of War and Winds and Truth. He kind of said, he's going to come back and write it later. And I kind of like him taking more time because I feel like that was something the Secret Project sort of exposed, is that when he kind of writes on the things that he has ready, I feel like they really resonate. And like I felt a little bit like Rhythm of War was kind of like, okay, well that's the next thing on the project plan, and not that it was bad, but I feel like it just wasn't the same wow factor to some extent, because like some of the stuff is just so good. Like Words of Radiance is just like insane, or even Tress, or in its own way, the Frugal Wizard's Guide, and all like just bonkers fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like the secret projects were just fun. I mean, they were good, but they were more the fun stuff.
So what did you do when you were bored during COVID?
I wrote 4 books.
Or when he was, what was it? He was on Instagram or something, like, I'm on vacation and I wrote another book, and it's like
It's like, Sanderson, you don't understand vacation.
I feel so unproductive now.
I know.
I feel like I've criticized a lot of authors who just put books out like crazy, and they all feel like really formulaic and the same because they're just reusing the same thing over and over again to put out so many books. And Sanderson like completely does not do that. He may put out 1 million books a year sometimes, but it's like they're all usually really different. They're not just like, this is the exact same thing over and over again because that's what people like. So he blows that stereotype away.
and I feel like, I mean, it would often hurt a lot of authors, and I feel like, well, Stormlight's like his indulgence here. It's like I feel like he's established enough that he feels free to do this, but he'll change genres. Well, of course, like Mistborn Era 2 is like an example of that, but even like the next book in Mistborn Era 2, you'll see kind of a change in vibe and theme. And then, of course, the Stormlight books, like Oathbringer was kind of different approach from Words of Radiance. Roar the Moor was very different from Oathbringer in a lot of ways. It's like he's willing to just, he doesn't feel like he has to have this like continuity in terms of style so much.
Yeah, I like that. And I think it shows off his writing chops really well too, that like that he can do so many different things. Like that's how I felt about Tress, where some people like didn't like the voice of Tress because it sounds so different because it's Hoyd narrating, but I'm like, I feel like the fact that he can do a whole book with Hoyd narrating and it sounds different than his other books and sounds like a distinctive narrator really shows what a good writer he is.
Oh yeah.
I know, he's born to write, that's for sure.
Yeah, or like Yumi was kind of just out there with, well, like that was that Instagram meme or whatever, sort of like, just throwing IDs at the wall and making them to a magic system, and it's like, how about stacking rocks?
I love he's the only person that can do that. Like, give me one random object. Okay, good. I'm going to make a whole magic system out of it. And it's going to make sense somehow.
Well, and it was so clever because it's like such a critique on art. Not in a negative critique, but like what is art? And it's like, well, stacking rocks can be art.
That's what I loved about. That's what Yumi has been my favorite secret project. I know not everyone feels that way, but I felt that way just because I really enjoyed exploring that theme of like taking a look at what art is and what's the purpose of art and how does art function in society and in people.
Actually, something he also plays with, and it was also another one. So I want to say it was Oathbringer, maybe, but maybe it's Alloy of Law. But like, can art even have a function? Like, does it cease being art once it has a function, or not having a function is a definition of art? But he really plays with that idea because in Yumi, it very much has a function.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I just thought the whole concept was, I really enjoyed the exploration of it.
Yeah, he's really good at exploring ideas with each of his works. He keeps it very original like that. I like that.
Yeah, like just painting bamboo. Like that's all I'll paint is bamboo. Like, and like it's kind of like that duality. Like it's like lazy, but at the same time, it's still art.
Well, should we do another sprint?
Let's do it.
I actually have to go. My parents are coming over later today, and I need to go deal with my dirty house.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
So nice
to see you.
It was nice to hang out with you, and I got a couple chapters read, and I am.
Rose says goodbye.
Aw, how cute.
If only Rosie would say something.
I know. My tuxedo cat is over there.
He's actually being very vocal. I don't know how well the mic's picking it up.
I thought I heard a cat, and I was like, okay, is that Rich's cat or is that Lucy?
Yeah, no, Rose is actually pretty vocal for a little, especially when scratching her ears, the little thing. You could like stand up on the camera for everybody. She's like, yeah, but I kind of prefer if you just scratch my ears.
That's not why I'm here.
Right.
I'm here to be admired by you only.
This is about me, not you, Rich.
Oh,
They are, all cats have main character syndrome, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Well, we won't keep you, Victoria, if you need to get going.
okay, I will say adieu for now.
Bye. Hope you have a good visit with
friends.
your family.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Thanks, Victoria. Bye. All right. Who wants to do another sprint and who's maybe thinking, yes,
I could do a bit more.
I think
Rosie
so.
says yes.
Like, I'm up for a sprint. Look at the zoomies.
As long as I keep petting her, she'll stick around as long as we need her to.
Yay. All right. Should we do another half an hour or should we do a shorter one?
Half an hour works for me.
That's fine with me.
Sure.
All right. Man, you guys are making it easy.
We aim to please.
Now I can finish that chapter.
Yes, I know. I'm proud of us for talking so long when half of us were like, I just want to get back to the book.
It's getting good.
All right, we'll go from 6. We'll go from 6 to 36.
I love it.
Excellent.
I love the weird times. It's my favorite thing.
I like it too.
Stephanie's like, no.
No, we
My
hate it.
Like,
We could go to 40.
no, you're fine.
Then how
I
many,
mean,
now,
I
Stephanie,
don't
can you
mind.
knit and read at the same time?
hmm
Okay.
Oh, like physically read? No.
She's
Oh, you
audiobook.
do audiobook and
Yeah.
knit. Okay, that
Yes.
works. Oh, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
I could see you still knitting and physically reading at the same time. If anyone could do it, it would be you.
I have a friend that can do that, and I tried it, and I was not successful.
You'd have to have your book like on a stand,
Yeah.
and then yeah.
Yes, those are actually great. I have a book stand now because like it seems like a lot of Korean readers use them, but I finally bought one and they're great. Now
For
I
the
can
Kindle,
just for any book.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
show you. I can.
I got one for my Kindle with a little page turner button. It's been so nice.
I've seen people do that, and then they lay in bed. And they don't even have to have their hands out of their blanket. They can just
Exactly.
hit the button. I'm like, this is peak like first world luxury.
Especially when you're sick. It's just like, yes, I don't have to move.
All right, we'll go to
Now
40.
we got to go to
Let's
37.
40. So we can just go to 40. All right. See you on the other side. Fighting. Welcome back. Whoa, Tiffany and Stephanie came back at the exact same second. That was
We're
crazy.
just that good. We're so coordinated.
Oh, how did you do, Stephanie?
Good. I listened to, I think, another 2 or 3%. So I'm
Nice.
480 pages in.
Woo!
So
You are not going to have a problem finishing. You're doing great.
Yeah, even I didn't have trouble finishing that book quickly. It's or wait, no, you're doing Oathbringer. I'm sorry, I'm.
yeah, once I get through Oathbringer, it'll be fine.
Are you looking forward to Rhythm of War again?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the one I remember the least about, so I'm excited to get to that one.
Yeah, I've only. I mean, of course, I'm sure we're all in the same boat. I've only read it once, unlike the others. I'm actually really enjoying Rhythm of War. Like this, I'm getting another chapter with some interesting developments. It's funny, like we're in part 1, and it's interesting to Sanderson how consistent he is. That like he delivers stuff all throughout. It's not like it's just all build up and no payoff. It's until the end. He really sort of, there's interesting things going on.
Yes.
I really like the direction he's obviously not everybody's read this far, so I don't want to say too much, but I just kind of like the direction he's exploring right now with one of the characters who sort of doesn't have much of a role before this.
Nice.
I'm excited to get there again. Rich, you're hyping us up.
Yes.
Oh, hey, Penny finished summer. Nice.
Yeah.
And ate lunch. Cool. And Urza finished Prestige. Wow. We were so productive. I finished the 11th medal. Woo!
Nice.
How'd you do,
Yeah, that
Tiffany?
was a quick little read.
Yeah, it was. It was fun. I didn't remember Gemmel at all, so that was fun. How did you do, Tiffany?
I did good. I'm through chapter 11. So.
Nice.
Ooh, you are moving along.
I am. I have like 120 pages left.
Nice.
I'm almost
Dang.
2/3 of the way.
You might finish this weekend.
I would love to. I'm going to try to.
I see
awesome.
a mention of a Cosmere concept in chapter 11 that was hinted at in Era 1.
Okay. Okay. There was a lot of random things in 11. Conversations happening, I guess.
Yes.
How did you do, Rich?
Oh, so I had that wow at the end of that chapter, and I'm coming up on the end of the next chapter. So just a lot of interesting. I mean, the chapters in Rhythm of War, it's Stormlight, so they're long. There's some shorter chapters, but man, the chapters in general are pretty long.
Yeah, that one did have long chapters.
But I really like something I really like about Stormlight is how kind of like each order, and even like Diffused and everything, they kind of all have different motivations behind them. And so you sort of explore different and of course that's so much like reality. Like we all have different values and priorities, and it's really interesting to see the good and the bad of all of them. Or like the ways they manifest and conflict. And
that's a good point, because even if you have like similar goals to other people and you're working together, your motivations and what you're hoping to get out of it might be totally different.
Yeah, why you're doing it, like why is this endeavor worth it or whatever. And it's just so true. I mean, it's something I like about Sanderson. He's sort of besides the fact that everybody's motivations are strong, it's just he shows that just because you don't have the same values and priorities doesn't mean you can't work towards a common good. Or for that matter, you can end up in conflict, and it's not because your motivations are necessarily evil as you would see them, but they're in conflict.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's something I love about Brandon Sanderson is how he shows everybody's motivation. Like a character that you would be tempted to dismiss as just evil. No, he has a whole series of motivations that Brandon Sanderson has laid out, and like somebody loves that character. Somebody is like in it for that character that you're like that you would normally just be like, yeah, he's the bad guy. Nope, not in this story.
Yeah, well, especially Alloy of Law. I mean, obviously not to get too far ahead of things, but there's definitely in the chapter that Tiffany was just reading, you can start to see that for one of the characters.
Yeah.
But you'll see a lot more. It's really interesting how kind of people's ideas of what will make the world a better place don't always get along.
Yeah.
That's
That's
true.
so true.
Hello, Lulu.
Hi.
Welcome. I'm so glad you joined us.
51 pages is really good for a sprint.
Yeah, for a half an hour sprint.
That's amazing.
Like a page and a half.
I'm like usually around like 30 pages or 20 to 30 pages is usually good for me for a half hour sprint, depending on what book I'm reading.
Depends on whether a squirrel runs by or not in my case.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, squirrel. That's funny. That's like Jenny's feed. Jenny used to read like 50 pages. She would do that in half an hour. She would read like 50 pages in half an hour.
Yeah. I just read 30 pages in the last sprint, but I can't do 50 in 30 minutes.
I think I read like 10. So y'all are like way past me. But I'm happy because I finished it. So without immersion reading, I was just reading with my eyes, and that's
nice.
And you know what? I didn't finish anything. So you taught me.
That was productive. And we got Victoria to join us, and she read some too. So it was like...
You see, Victoria here are going to make a joke about Penny finishing Summer, and I think that's a vibe that Victoria can definitely appreciate right now.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Definitely. Poor Victoria. Well, I say that's pretty good. You guys want to just finish off the live show? Is there anything else you want to add? Should we mention anything before we go? We already talked about the live show.
In case you didn't remember, Alloy of Law is September 7th, first Saturday in September on my channel. So,
excellent.
And the 11th.
Want to chat with us about it? Come on September 7th.
Yeah,
I've got it.
Yeah, and the 11th medal.
Oh yes, and the 11th medal as well, both.
Yeah, and you said it was 1 p.m. Eastern, Rich?
That's what I have on my calendar.
I think that's what I have too.
Excellent. Good.
It's always nice when they're at the same time.
Yeah, I try to make them at the same time, unless we have to do it on a Sunday, and then I have to bump it a little later. But
no, I meant when we all show up at the same time. That also works better.
Yes,
it does. It really does. That's a really good point. Not a great conversation. It's just one person.
I'm so glad you mentioned the 11th medal, Stephanie. That was a really good thing to add. And when is, you said it's like a week from now, the Great Cosmere Long Oathbringer chat?
We're aiming for the beginning of September, but we don't have a date set yet. So I will let you guys know.
All right. Cool. And whose channel will that be on?
Angela's, so Literature Science Alliance.
All right.
Thank you.
Yes.
It's a short read.
Yeah, it's no big deal.
Maybe compared to the end of Wheel of Time.
I know. And I'm going to try to fit in Dawn Shard, but I don't think that'll happen.
Dawn Shard. Stephanie, have you read Dawn Shard?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't remember a ton, but I remember Lopin a lot.
Yes. It's a very low.
Radiant. I shouldn't say anymore. Yeah.
Nice save. Nice save.
It's a very nice save.
I feel bad. I spoil left and right accidentally all the time. So that was a good save. All right. Well, I think that's everything. So thank you guys so much, all of my co-hosts who came today and read. And thank you to everybody in the chat. I just love catching up with you guys. And thanks for letting us know what you're reading and reading along with us.
Yeah,
And
see everybody around. It's fun.
Yeah, we'll see you again, hopefully twice in September. We'll see. We should have Oathbringer Mad Libs as well.
Yes.
Yeah, so we'll see. And maybe 3 times with Stephanie's live show.
Yes, depending on that one is.
Take care, everyone. Bye.